steps. And let's also get the reactions from elder statesmen. We have Chief Anabs Egbe, who's joining us from River State. Good morning, sir. I think the first reaction would be your thoughts. Did you see this coming, and what are your thoughts about the state of emergency declared in River State?
Well, good morning, and thank you. It is very obvious right from the beginning that Mr. President is biased against the governor of River State. I say this with all authority that first, it gave us a lopsided agreement and forced the governor to implement. It was quite obvious that the governor obeyed Mr. President, while Iyesu Wike refused to obey Mr. President. And because Iyesu Wike did not obey Mr. President and the governor obeyed Mr. President, the governor withdrew all his court cases. Iyesu Wike refused to withdraw his court cases. That gave Iyesu Wike edge over him. As if that is not enough, the Supreme Court has, based on that withdrawal, gave a judgment against SIM and River State government. Mr. President, when Pandem visited him, insisted that we go to SIM to implement the Supreme Court. But even before then, SIM had agreed to implement Supreme Court judgment. The same characters refusing to implement the Supreme Court judgment. And for Mr. President to use Section 105, 305 to declare the state of emergency where there are no problems in River State is not proper. Again, Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as amended do not empower Mr. President to sack an elected governor or even a councillor. He does not have that power under the 1999 Constitution. He said he believes in rule of law. Is this what you call rule of law? What he has done is to take excessive power beyond his authority to remove the governor of River State, just to please Iyesu Wike. Let us look at it objectively. If two people are fighting, Iyesu Wike and SIM, Iyesu Wike is still in his cabinet. Why did you not suspend him? If you want peace, you would have suspended Iyesu Wike. But they kept Iyesu Wike there and suspended SIM, who was elected. Iyesu Wike that he appointed, he could not remove him. Last week, he equipped Iyesu Wike to come to River State with the army, the police, the Navy, the Air Force, and all security DSS, all security apparatus, as Mr. President to go to a village in River State, with the hope that the people will react and they will declare state of emergency. That failed. And now they just slept over and thought, oh, he has power to declare state of emergency. And he brought somebody whom everybody knows, or displayed somebody who is having pictures with Wike as sole administrator. Under democracy, are we under military dictatorship? We are not under military dictatorship. We are in a democratic system. And the Constitution is the ground of all the laws in this country.
Thank you very much, Chief. I'd like us to bring in Mr. Jake Epele into the conversation. Mr. Epele, you've been, you're a vested, interested party in Rivers affairs, and you've been very passionate about it. What do you make of Mr. President's speech yesterday and the suspension of the governor, the deputy governor, and the State House of Assembly?
See me, of course, the NEPA struck, but you can hear my voice
loud and clear.
In a few seconds.
Yeah, you can keep talking, we can hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can keep talking, we can hear you.
Okay, so you can see me, they have to power on the generator.
No, it's fine, just keep talking.
It's unfortunate that the president will bow to the pressure of a minister which he appointed. What he has done is unconstitutional, because he didn't follow the constitutional due process, But I know a leader, when that leader is willing to reverse himself, and it's not too late for the president to reverse himself. What has happened is not good for democracy. Some of the claims in his speech are not evidenced. You know, you say the breakdown of governance. The governance has been on. This young man has been fighting the fight of his life for the people.
I believe that when the president talks about the breakdown of governance, a part of what he's referring to would be the fact that for us to say government is duly constituted and the three arms of government have to be fully effective, and in this case, the River State House of Assembly was not effective.
Unfortunately so, but what Johnson Wike is the architect of it, you know, and I really want to thank the likes of Chief Anabs that is on this show. Truly elder people and I want to apologize to you, sir, for all the unnecessary abuse and disrespect that have been meted to the elders of our dear state. This is unacceptable. This is not what democracy should look like. And unfortunately, this sitting president fought for democracy, laid down his life for democracy, fled the country for democracy. And now he has the opportunity to make good all the things that he believes and all the principles which he stands for. This is unfortunate that is happening in his own administration. This is unfortunate that he's bowing to the pressure of someone who has considered himself an unappointed, unnecessary emperor. You know, must River State lay her life for Wilson Wike? Is he the only Rivers person? Is he the only person who have ruled the state? Why will he want to destroy lives and properties of River State for his own selfish end? When will this stop? How long can we endure this? But let me continue to sue for peace. The dear people of River State, don't let them push you into where we are not. Don't give in to pressure. Don't destroy the pipeline. It's unnecessary. It's for our own economic good. Don't take arms. We will follow the due process of law, and victory will come at the end of the day.
All right.
I said it openly on the national television that Wike cannot impeach Fubara, and that's exactly what has happened. He couldn't impeach Fubara, and he tries to use the president to create unnecessary state of emergency. This is uncalled for.
Let's now bring in Chief Anabs. Let's bring Chief Anabs Egbe into the conversation and talk about what the president said regarding Governor Siminalayi Fubara not condemning the attacks on the pipeline and stating, you know, that he should have spoken about this. So there is an expectation that maybe he's not condemning this means that he was consenting to that happening. So let's get your reaction to this and what you think the president should have done differently. Chief Anabs, I believe that question was for you, sir. If you can please unmute your device. All right, please go ahead.
We can hear you.
There are insurgency across the country, the northern part of the country, where they bomb Nigerian territory. And that is war, where there are evident war. Mr. President did not declare state of emergency. I want to tell you why Mr. President did this. A few days ago, precisely
Chief Anabs, are you here with us?
On Monday,
all right, go ahead.
Federal had the meeting. I mean, I had the sitting. In that sitting, they tried to bring the Supreme Court judgment to stop the sitting. Unfortunately, the court went ahead to hear the case and reserved judgment for 15th of April.
Chief Egbe, okay, we'll get back to you. We seem to be having some connection issues with it, but let's get back to Mr. Jake Epele. That Mr. Epele, the people that have argued on the side of Mr. President saying, look, he took this decision as a father of the nation, as a chief security officer, that you shouldn't wait for it to boil down to a situation of total carnage and war, that the steps he took were preemptive to stop a total breakdown of law and order, and that's what a responsible person will do. They also say Mr. President is not biased, because if he was biased, he would have left the members of the State House of Assembly. So it's a case of no victor, no vanquished. Do you agree with this take?
Well, I mean, the president gets a lot of security briefing that I am not privy to. He gets a lot of information that I don't know. If he feels that there is a breakdown of law and order, the simple thing to do is to proactively stem it. And he has all the resources at his disposal. He would have deployed enough security operatives, enough soldiers. He would have called the governor that whom he described as his son, and hold him personally accountable, and send him back to ensure that there is law and order. You know, he didn't do that. Now, one of the things that gave me concern was when he added in his address that Fubara is responsible. He personally blamed Fubara that he pulled down the State House of Assembly. Where did he get the evidence? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Are they not destruction that is linkable to, allegedly, I would say, to Nyesom Wike? Was he blamed? The destruction of the local government secretariat and all that? Did anybody point accusing finger on him?
Well, I think maybe because there was an explanation given for the demolition, stating that because there had been an explosion before, and then they were saying that they did it on advice, professional advice, because the integrity of the building had been compromised. And many people said it's not enough, like there might have been some sinister motive behind that. But let's bring in Chief Anabs Egbe to the conversation. Before the disconnection, I was asking you your thoughts on the president saying that Governor Siminalayi Fubara did not condemn the actions of the pipeline vandals, and that is there anything you think the president should have done differently? If yes, can you please share? And you were sharing with us why you think this happened, the state of emergency.
If you can't get him, let me weigh in on that.
All right, please go ahead.
If you cannot get him, yes, let me weigh in on that. All right. Now, there is no doubt. I started by saying that there is no doubt that the president reserves the right. He is the #1 chief security of the nation,
yes,
including Rivers. So if he got some form of security briefing that there's a likely breach of security, he has every right to step in, weigh in, and ensure that that doesn't happen. But there are better ways to do it. There are other ways to do it than this hammer and sledge that he has put down. Unknown to them, they didn't do it to Fubara, they did it to the entire people of Rivers State. You know, I mean, there's been worst situation in other states, and even on your voice pop, they said it. There's been worse situation in other states. There was no state of emergency. For heaven's sake, couldn't he have called for state of emergency over power? We've been dealing with epileptic power. State of emergency over economy. We've been dealing with a fledgling economy. State of emergency over the tumbling and the rumbling of the naira and dollar. There are better things to look at, other than just River State. Must we be milk until we die? Must they continue to suffocate us? We are the one who produces everything that makes them comfortable, even in Aso Rock, and yet we cannot be allowed to breathe. This is unacceptable, you know. But like I said, I will continue, and because I believe that peace will resolve this issue. Let there be peace in the land. My dear people of River State, please, I keep pleading with you, youths of River State, don't react. We need to respond to this situation, and we need to respond in a very calm and lawful manner.
But is there any other suggestion as to what? Is there any suggestion again as to what can be done to ensure peace? You've spoken to the people of River State. The governor has been suspended, deputy suspended, House of Assembly suspended. Are there any other alternatives? Because before now you were positive that there were still other alternatives that could ensure that both parties find a middle ground. Is that option still on the table?
Yes, I'm still very positive. I'm still very, very positive that this can be resolved in an amicable manner. The National Assembly is the next hope that everybody is turning to. There is nothing wrong with the National Assembly to come out to say, Mr. President, we need to revisit this issue. It's not that you are going to disrespect him. It's not that he's not your party man. You can simply have a quiet meeting. You don't even need to deliberate this in the plenary. You can have a quiet meeting with Mr. President and tell him to toe the path of honor as a leader. Every leader, I've made decisions in my leadership that I have to reverse myself. Every worthy leader will learn to reverse himself when he feels that is wrong, and you get that hope or that feedback from the people. You've seen it. All the people you interviewed, except one gentleman, every other person is not in support of this. You know, many times and other times, the voice of the people can be the voice of God. So, one, the National Assembly needs to come to our aid. It is the people that elected you and sent you there to go and represent them. Represent their true voice. Number two, the civil society needs to rise up and speak up. I've been very disappointed with the way and manner the civil society, which is my space. I've been able to stand up and speak to many of your states. Many of you have been able to stand up and speak to your issues. This is the time for you to stand up and speak to my own people, and which is River State. This evil must not be allowed, because if we allow it, it will filter to other states. One day, it will be the turn of your own brother. Another day, it will be the turn of your own father. We need to stand up now and defend the democracy which we are all fighting for. Obama said it and aptly said it. He said, democracy will win if we fight for it. We must all stand up and reject this evil trajectory.
Right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jake Epele, speaking passionately as always about the issues in River State and always calling for peace. We will continue to monitor the situation, and we hope for an amicable resolution to the dispute.
Thank you so much. And also thank you to Chief Anabs Egbe for joining us as well.